Alrighty. Okay, let's look at some things here and make absolutely sure that our stream and sound and everything is where it's supposed to be. Let's see what's going on here. Alright. It looks like we are in business as far as sound goes. Still more than what I would prefer, but there we go. So, we are going to be talking a little bit here about our favorite non practicing lawyer while I get my art stuff together. And also, I need to get something to drink. It is so hot in this apartment. You guess what would have happened if you hadn't mentioned it? There would have been no commentary on it. You mentioned it, so the internet does what the internet does. Like, this man does not understand how the. It's like he's forgotten how the internet works. And I don't understand why that is. He's just forgotten the way the internet works. I mean, people who are good are not generally going to marriage counseling. That's the problem with you trying to address this all at all and just. I guess. Okay. It's like he thinks he's talking. It's like he thinks that he's talking to people that have never experienced that. Like, I've never been married, but I understand how that works. I still can understand the concept and accept it as a reality of the way the world works. But he's talking to his regular viewers as if this is something they don't understand. Okay. Whatever. So, yeah, it's strange. It's all just very, very strange. I said I don't like this, the way that this looks here. I don't understand why there's two names. Why is there two names? Edit name and title. Okay, I see what happened here. I don't need the title on there. I don't need that. There we go. Yay! Now that's better. So anyway, it's like he has to talk about us like we don't understand that. Like the viewer doesn't get it. And it just makes no sense why he thinks that. I'm playing here with the settings. How does making it me larger mean that I end up just because? Oh goodness. I don't like that. Let's see how big I can make myself without it doing that. Okay. Oh goodness. It's kind of what I don't like about StreamYard and their naming thing. It's all, or their chat thing. It's all because I'm trying to have the chat on there, I guess. So strange. Okay. So, alright, let's get back to this. Stop fooling with the shit and just get... Okay, yeah. No. That's the way life works? No way. Really? I would never have thought. I would never have thought. Oh yeah, I don't think... I don't think I'm sharing... We may have to start over because I don't think I'm sharing the sound. Ugh. Hey, start over. Because I apparently was not doing this the way that I wanted to. I should have been sharing sound, and it doesn't look like I was. So I just want to double check something and make sure I'm absolutely sharing the audio.
Which is also funny because, like,
Okay.
I don't know,
We're better
people
now.
were... There was commentary.
So anyway, he's talking about his commentary about his...
Trust me, it's going to come around and hit you like a hammer. You find yourselves a little farther apart than you maybe want.
Yeah.
So you gotta
that's
turn the rudder.
That's normal in
steer the ship
relationships.
towards
People
each other again.
change. People evolve.
But yeah, we've been through a lot, and what we consistently
something
hear
we don't know.
from professionals is like most people who
Tell
have
us
gone
something
through
we've
what
never
we've been
heard
through
before.
don't, like, their relationships don't make it. But you know, we got a lot of practice, so we're pretty good at it. We've been through tough times before.
Okay.
Long before the internet. I'm sure we'll
Yeah, realize
be, have our
spends
occasional tough times long after the internet is dead. I
over
hate them.
20
They're no
minutes
fun.
talking about this issue.
But you go through stuff. But the weird thing is seeing people, though, criticizing, decision to work on your relationship. Like, that's wild to me. Speaking of relationships, Nice Guy Mersh says, "Hey,
people
hey,
just
what's
think
up,
that-
buddy? Nice to see you." Nice to see you, man. I have some.
It's more like
I have stuff I want to talk to certain people about, and it's not whoever
people
just heard
that,
that and thinks it's your thing. It's not.
criticize
It's
Lady
not
Gaga
lately.
staying with
Every
you.
aspect.
They
of
don't
it.
think it's a good
There's
idea
no
that
respect
she's
for
chosen
like
to stay
anyone's
with you, and-
privacy. People revel in the idea of like DMs.
And it's like that's he just does not seem to understand the reality of the job that he has taken on. He's like, he just doesn't. He thinks that nobody should ever. The idea that nobody on the line is ever to talk about his personal life is just not realistic. And so I don't know what he accomplishes by being on here and complaining about it and acting like these people need psychiatric help. So, and a lot of people in MAGA that are libertarian, they're against therapy because they believe that most therapists are just they're woke and evil, and they seek to just destroy people's relationships. That all they do is destroy relationships. They don't actually help. And so some people are going to mock him about going to therapy his wife and him seeing somebody for that because they have their own opinions about that sort of thing, and they're going to share it whether he likes it or not. So if he had never gone, I think he shared it in his chat. Is the issue? He mentioned in his chat that it was exactly what the appointment was, and he never needed to mention that, but he chose to mention it, and so now people are going to talk about it. And now he's going to talk about people releasing DMs and stuff, and that kind of shit is dumb, but it's going to happen sometimes.
Being leaked and stuff like that, and it's insane. That's just normal for a segment of the internet now, and that segment is like all of it. Everybody's just fine with this idea that some people go online and make content, like they do work, they create something, and because of that, it's like, well, yeah, your DMs, your private life, nope, that's out in public, and that's you. We want to know.
Not
it's like, oh my God,
the way they do
there's
it.
a crazy lady who's been stalking me through all of this because she's on a mission to rescue my children from me.
Him. She's doing what you have encouraged people to do. She's going to court
but
hearings.
I'll say this.
And she's talking about cases.
Batshit insane.
You just don't
she's
like
also
that
ugly
she chooses to talk
fat,
about you.
Of course. They always are, right? You can't have like a hot stalker. It's always got to be some gremlin running around, following you to all your hearings, telling you about telling the world about like how evil you are. It's like when you try to be nice to him, and they're just like, God, he had an evil aura. That was my favorite. I have an evil aura. But yeah, so this person misunderstands a conversation that Ralph had with Scarlett, and all of a sudden, like, everybody thinks that I was inviting Scarlett to my home. Like, the logistical issues of doing that aside, Scarlett's lovely, but like,
I can't have this sitting on my keyboard, dang it.
This isn't a thing. I don't like.
You want to make noise.
Kevin Brennan tried to make it a thing. That doesn't make it a thing. I'm not inviting adult film actresses over to my house. I don't think they would want to come to my house anyway. Wait, hey, you want to hang out with my kids? Like, it'd be fun. My goodness. But it's just wild to find out. And then this person like repeats this.
But I don't understand why you have to dedicate.
When do we get to ask questions about Rekieta introducing this
20 minutes of your show?
Unstable element into his children's lives.
Like you should just block her and move on. But instead you're doing this tries.
If I was going to have 50 porn stars at my house, you. It's not your business. Eat a bitch. My God. This woman is crazy. She's literally nuts. Certifiably insane. And it's because like her parents or something while doing drugs. Something like that. Some story akin to her being abused by someone else means that everybody else is abusing everybody, because she's one of these people who cannot fathom that other people have a different life experience than she does. She just doesn't know. And she's too retarded. Maybe because her parents are into retardation. I don't know. But she's too stupid to take on empathy or sympathy and realize that there is a different lived experience than yours that other people go through. That, you know, not everybody has a creepy uncle or whatever. But my God. So like she's on a mission to rescue my children from her parents. That's what's going on. And it's creepy. Anyway. And she's, of course, fully supported by fat losers like Null. Bricktop Anarchy says, for something that's so ridiculous and preposterous, you're spending a ton of time explaining why it isn't true. Oh, that makes it true. Oh, you got me. Holy shit. So smart. You don't have access to anyone's life. It's not yours. Here. I invite her to my house. Take that. You. What does that change? What does that do to anybody? How did your life get different from that? Just for clarity's sake, that was a facetious invitation. Again, Scarlett can, she and Ralph are having some sort of time, and I fully endorse whatever they are doing. Go tear it up. Go tear it up.
You would be talking
they look like they're having an insane time. And I see a lot of interesting parallels.
The personal
That's all I'm going to say.
Ends up coming out
I'm
because
smiling watching
these
it
charges.
because
had to get a desk.
of certain things I know about both of them, and seeing some funny like reference going on. And like I said, it's wild to watch. It's
I don't
very
understand why
too.
he's allowed to talk about other
at the
people's
end of the day,
personal
they're
life,
consummate entertainers.
but he can't talk about
But,
it in his personal life.
No, I didn't
But
actually
he can talk about
invite
people's personal life. I just don't
that
get it.
unstable element. Although,
Like his whole
never
obsession
mind.
with-
I didn't actually do that, but people decided that I did. And then if you address it, it's like, oh, you must have. It's like, okay, I get, like, sure. It doesn't change your life. It doesn't change mine. It doesn't. You can say something online over and over. It will never make it actually true. It's only true in your mind. Have fun with it. See, look at this person. What does it matter to you? How does it affect you in any way? Like, what does it mean? What does it do to you?
Because we're talking about people in our society, in our culture, bringing up children that have to become a functioning adult into society. And they're being potentially exposed to that shit. You know why sometimes it doesn't matter? It is because sometimes people who are doing the crap that you're doing, they end up in our courts, charged with all sorts of crimes because they were fucking degenerates. So there, that's my thanks for coming to my TED Talk on why this matters.
Why does it bother you? Map Hanger says, I don't care who you have to your house or Kata Law. It's none of my business to begin with. But what's it matter to anyone else? I don't know. That's the whole thing. And so I did address it on Twitter.
The idea
just because,
that it has no broader, that what you...
I actually think this is really unfortunate. Because
the idea that what you do in private can never have broader social implications for the type of culture and the type of society that you want to have is idiotic! Sorry to yell. But it's complete bullshit idiotic.
Though I have not invited Scarlett to my house, there should be no issue with me doing so. I mean, assuming...
Yes.
No, see, I was about to fall into the trap. I was about to say, assuming my wife was okay with it and stuff. That's for me, though. That's for me and her. That's not for the internet to like have some like, oh my God, we have to rescue someone, because you have no idea what they're okay with, not okay with. You're also like, the thing that makes me sad about Scarlett is it doesn't matter who it is. Everybody only sees a porn star. That's it.
Oh,
That is
she
her
has
fucking
proven
Scarlet
herself
letter.
to not bury
Scarlet,
the,
how apropos, right? And that's really shitty.
a deep
It is really
person.
shitty to shackle someone with their past forever. And
Well, she's living up
even
to
people who are nice to her do the
her
same thing.
past right now. She's making a lot
Everybody
of
who invites her
crappy,
on their
shitty
show.
decisions.
It's nothing but they cannot get pornography out of their minds when they're talking to her. And they miss the person that's behind it. They just do.
There is a very
And so that
idiotic
assumption,
person
by
behind
the way,
it.
this is where I'm going
I
with
mean,
this.
I'm sorry,
The assumption is that
but she never comes
if I
across
did invite this
as
person
the
to my
brightest
house,
crayon in the toolbox.
that it would be for the purposes
She
of
doesn't.
sex. Automatically. That's the assumption.
Let's see, which
No
one
matter
do I
what.
need?
People put that on her
14.
and put that on anyone who communicates with her. And it's a damn shame, like, to see people do that. It's really shitty of them. Because, like, that's, you know, that is a person.
I mean,
don't
because
know.
that's all.
People,
That's
like,
all you
forgot,
do.
I guess,
That's all you
that
do.
it is a
You
person
never-
beyond their past and
never
beyond their
look-
profession. And
You never
they
look
just sit there and
behind that
scream
when
shit
you're
or
dealing
like
with
get
people.
help and
You
all this
never
stuff.
do.
It's like, you're not helping. You're doing the opposite.
But
of what
everybody
you're,
else is expected
what
to.
you're
I don't
professing
get
to
it.
do. People should just treat people like people first. But it's a shame that I even have to address it at all. I mean, I don't have to. It's a shame that it was something that people took
You're
any interest in. It's not. It's not their business. But I did not.
God.
Believe it or not,
If nothing is ever
I don't-
anybody's different than business,
it
then
kind
you
of
should not be
seems like
covering
there's
people's
some
court cases.
potential substance issues based on the live streaming that they've been doing. And I don't think that's a good thing to have around me right now. No matter what, I think that would be not great. Not great for multiple reasons. Probation wise, I also just don't think
At least you're
it's not.
using your head in
It's
that
not
way.
like family pizza environment. Like what? I don't even know where this came from. Map Hanger says, are you simply attending Hackmania 3 or are you joining This Little Piggy again on stage? I'm joining This Little Piggy on stage. I may also be doing something else. I may also be doing like I don't know. Melton mentioned me doing a stand-up set, like a 10-minute stand-up set. So I don't know. I have to write jokes, I guess. I don't know if I'm actually going to do that or not. If you haven't been following the Scarlett and Ralph saga, that's probably for the best. But long story short, Scarlett and Ralph are dating. They're an item. Ralph was up in Wisconsin or whatever, visiting again. I think yesterday or the day before. And the night ends, Scarlett steps on a shot glass and cuts her foot open. And she does a stream from the hospital and basically says what's going on. And she says, like, Ralph didn't cause the injury or whatever. She just stepped on a shot glass and cut her foot. But
Which is believable.
But Ralph had a flight
That's
to catch,
believable.
and so he wasn't with her or something. I don't know. It's kind of they're in some gonzo life shit, if you know what I mean by that. It is something else. That said, Ralph then calls in to Aaron Imholt's show. Aaron Imholt, a former associate of mine, runs the Steel Toe Morning Show, which is a steadily dying podcast. He has been on a tear lately. He's been mentioning me a lot, which he had stopped for a while. But there's always a couple tells that something's going on in his life. And one of them is that he starts talking about me a lot. And there's some things that need to be addressed at some point, but not right now. I was
as
gonna let
far
you
as
guys
I
in
know,
that.
he hasn't really been
So there was
talking
just
about you a lot. But
the reason that he's been
yes.
freaking out, or one of the reasons, is that we had some exchanges in our restraining order case. I can't really talk about it because it's actually unclear. It's actually unclear what I can and can't talk about, but like I can't get into the details. But just know that some things happen, and it's going super swell for him. As always, it's always going perfect. But anyway, so that's why he's been freaking out in regards to me and mentioning me a lot,
I don't think he's freaking
because
out.
there's some interaction happening in the restraining order case. The other reason he's freaking out is just because his like income is tanking, his viewers are tanking, and he appears to be trying more and more desperate measures to reach his arbitrary goals that he set, that only he cares about, and it literally psychologically tears him apart. It's wild to watch. That's all backstory. None of that is important. There's one thing you should know about Aaron. It's the funniest thing once you see it. He doesn't know anything about anything. He doesn't know like every subject he discusses, every one he gets wrong, all of them. It's almost impossible. By
Are you sure
statistically,
that the
he talks
reason
about
you're
so many different
not
things.
talking
He should
about
get
him
something right, and he
now
just
is
doesn't
because
ever.
things aren't going
It was amazing.
well
so
for you?
Scarlett steps
Are
on
you
this
sure that's
shot
not what's
glass,
going on?
cuts her
I mean,
foot,
it's hard to tell.
does a live stream.
It's hard to tell.
Ralph then calls in to Aaron's show to, tell the world that he didn't cause the injury. He wasn't in the room when it happened, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Fine. Nothing wrong there. Aaron then goes on this guidance counselor kick, and he starts talking to Ralph. He's like, now, what are we going to do to try and make sure that this doesn't happen again? It's like, what the are you doing? what are you doing? This loser, he did Molly and Coke combined like a dozen times or something like that over a 4-month period. He is a guy who thinks that he thinks a woman using a personal pleasurable object, we'll say, is cheating, that's infidelity. He thinks that taking women to lingerie stores is icky.
Why would you want to take? Why would you
starts to try and engage Ethan Ralph
like
on how he could do his life
weird
differently and stuff like that.
I don't even know why it
was
matters.
Wild to watch. Like, it's lore heavy. You have to know the backstories of all these people, and you have to know like kind of the interactions, and it's really not for anybody.
We have to know the lore according to you.
If you do, watch that segment.
You have to know the lore according to you.
Where Ralph calls in, and this guy who thinks he lived the most degenerate life ever, like, buddy, you didn't. You didn't even dip your toes in to degeneracy. Get out. You don't even belong in the cheap seats of this conversation. But to see him start talking to Ralph about like life choices and stuff,
well,
and
I mean,
things around.
It seems like you both have learned a thing or two about life choices. Like,
it's like asking Johnny Depp to go to community theater. Like, I think you could do really well at like a local play or something like that, Mr. Johnny Depp. Like that's the vibe of Aaron talking to Ralph. It was something to behold. Like, holy shit. I don't even know how to follow it up. Like, the stories, I've dabbled in debauchery. I've dabbled a little bit. And it's like,
are you sure you
I don't know. It's like the little brother who comes up and wants to play baseball, right? It's like, you still hit off the tee, man. It's not going to happen. Anyway, it's very funny. I don't want to get into it too much. I just wanted to call him a loser.
Because he got
because he's
into
both.
it quite
What a
quite a
pussy.
bit.
And he's terrified. He's terrified of this restraining order because he knows at
I
some point he's going to have to answer for it. At
I think
some
you're more
point,
terrified of this
at some
restraining
point, he's
order.
going to have to go and sit before that judge and say, I was very scared of Nick Rekieta on June 26th. Again. Again, he's going to have to say that. But he's not going to have a reason why. Because the only reason he's scared is because he's a giant pussy. That's it. I don't threaten people. I don't threaten physical violence on people. I don't do that. I don't. I don't harass people. I don't harangue people. I might talk about
Okay.
someone on occasion. This mother talked about me in ways that did not belong in public every day for 18 months. And he wants to say that I was harassing him. It's incredible. It's incredible. I can't wait, though. I can't wait to go to court on it. I have so much to say. There's some things that get to go on your permanent record.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. I
Look
don't know.
at
It's
what we
hard to tell
have
how much of
here.
what he says was
Oh,
wishful
colleagues
thinking.
of Jenna Griswold describe her true character when no one is watching from the public eye. His lawyer said that the only person of color in senior leadership is a guy called Manny, and that's Griswold's appointed director of public engagement, who does not directly supervise anyone.
I don't care about this.
Took any interest in. It's not their business.
Well, people, again, it's just an issue of what I think people look at is they look at the idea that this is what we have going on in our society. The societal implications of how it is that you choose to live your life. And the idea that there's never any societal implications is quite frankly bullshit. And we just had to listen to complete nonsense about how nothing he does affects anybody else. You know, we don't live in a vacuum in society. You know, there are times when what you do affects other people. And it can be problematic for you to try to live your life like there's this invisible bubble that nothing ever impacts the broader community. I don't think this guy has been live in a long time. Yeah, he doesn't really think I think he's still out there doing his thing. He's just not alive very much. So let's see here. What else do we got here? Let's go back to Stalin and see what, because I think he might have an interesting clip. Oh, this is a long one. So this is why I guess maybe he's insisting that Aaron is talking about him a whole lot. Well, this is from 2 years ago. Oh, I don't really know that we have a whole lot. That there's been a whole lot clipped of him talking incessantly about Nick. I don't think there has been, and he's trying to paint it like he did. I don't know that I get that. Let's see what else he might have. Ashley Cummings, Ethan Ralph, Scarlett wedding announcement. Oh yeah, this is wild. So she ended up in
Let's
the
go.
hospital.
Give
She
me a
was supposed to be coming
sec.
on there and making a big old
I'm
announcement,
ready
and
right
it did
now,
not go according to
so-
plan.
Well, no, I want Scarlett to be here for the announcement.
Well, Scarlett will be here too, but she's still. Hey, will you just for a second?
Yeah, but Ethan's in front of the
quiet.
computer. We got potato, we got legs up.
Listen.
Stop, bro.
Hey.
Go.
Hey,
He's in stream.
hey.
You should figure it
I
out.
take
Will
yeah.
you?
Let's make our announcement, please.
Yes, I'm totally down for that. I just wish,
Keanu, you.
please.
Okay, I will.
I don't want to say what I was going to say, but
So I don't get arrested.
Yeah, don't say
Can-
what you were gonna say. Maybe she has to put on some makeup.
yeah, it's
What?
fine. That's all good. Yeah. Hey, blonde that I know. Will you get ready for the announcement? Hey, if not, I
Mom,
cannot
gotta get home.
guarantee.
Get right down to business, bad boy. Mom,
Will you just?
Mom, here. Mom,
Excuse me.
home.
Hey, can you do me a favor and mute yourself for a second?
Bad boy. Mom,
Yeah, I
home.
could just. My brain's.
Okay, so what's gonna happen now is going to be where the is Rochi? God damn it. Finally. Okay, Rochi, what's gonna happen now is going to be an announcement. I don't know how to unmute him. Do you know? Wait, why are you muted? Can you unmute it? Oh, I figured it out. I got it.
Ah, you're fucking it up. You're fucking it up because you're stupid.
Guys,
You're
guys,
You're
guys.
stupid. You're not
Guys.
listening to anything I'm saying. You're.
Rochi. You're not muted, are you?
No, I'm not muted. So, this.
I love
is
you
the-
for being here. I love you for being here.
So we've been drinking tonight, right, Ash?
Me?
Yes, ma'am.
Why are you coming at me about drinking?
Partly because I'm aware that there's a Jack Daniels bottle here, but it's only like 20 past 10 in the morning. Well,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
you're telling me you're drinking. I thought
No,
you were
fuck no.
I'm drinking.
No. I just assumed you were drinking because you seemed rather
Yes,
excited.
I have been drinking. Wait, I seemed what?
You seemed rather excited. You said you got some news. That's what
Well,
intrigued
this
me.
news is it's a news breaking kind of thing. What does that have to do with your drinking and my drinking?
I'm not drinking. No, I said that I
Let's
was.
just check
Look,
in-
there's a
let's
whiskey
just check
bottle.
in
That's
on
why I
them.
was-
Not. Like, who is this guy?
Oh,
I'm always excited to see you. What is your point? Oh my gosh, we got a super chat.
that was
Shut
the point.
fuck
Right?
up. So you're
So-
drunk. I'm not. I mean, I am.
I'm not
Like
drunk.
I've had wine. I'm not gonna say I haven't had anything to drink.
Right, Ash. So you got Ethan Ralph above me, right?
Oh god.
I don't know how to change that, baby. Like,
Anything.
Here, okay, look, I'm about to.
yo, you guys need to be quiet.
Ethan.
Fuck this guy. He's a piece of shit.
Okay.
Yeah, obviously, I'm above him because he's a loser. No,
Ethan.
I'm not Mama coming home.
who? I don't know who the f- you are.
Goes from bad
This is
to
supposed to be a
worse.
happy, joyous announcement.
I literally. It's just huge.
So-
Wait,
It's
wait.
happy and
Is
joyous.
this Hughie? Is this Hughie?
Yeah, of course I'm
No.
choosy. Yeah. Do I sound Irish?
This
Are
is
you
like
that wasted?
Rochi.
I don't know.
How much coke
Euro
have you done
trash.
off of our
Euro
ass?
trash. Euro
How much
trash.
coke
It
have
is.
you done
Euro.
off of our
Listen.
ass?
Euro trash. It is.
Hey, Ethan.
Yo,
What happened
yo.
in Portugal?
Change ball.
Ethan, this is my friend Husey. Yo, calm down.
Hugh- and
No,
Hugh-
Ethan, stop.
I want to go take
Hey,
I had control over them earlier.
Ash, I'll have it.
Scream that.
Hey, baby. Let me talk.
Yo,
Baby,
both of
baby.
you guys need to stop it now. Be quiet, everyone. Be quiet. I have an announcement to make.
Stop. I'm trying. I can.
Can
talk
I
to
make the announcement?
Go on, Ash.
Everyone sit the f- down and shut the f- up. I'm done with people yelling all the f- time.
I think they might be fighting, which
Is
is
Scarlett
interesting.
okay?
Shut the
No. F- You get back on the screen. You are not allowed to hurt her.
Mommy's here. I'm not get back.
Scarlett, Yella, come here.
It's okay, honey.
I
Hi, Scarlett.
No. I want
Sorry,
Scarlett
I'm so
here
sorry.
now. Scarlett is the point of this.
yeah, that's what you're known to do.
Ethan,
You're stupid as
You seemed like a very reasonable dude earlier. I want you to whatever is happening. I want to see both of you on screen right now. Okay.
You
literally.
God
That's
damn
what
it.
she
This
got.
wasn't supposed to go like this, Rochi.
No, I give a
Yeah,
fuck
Of course,
about
Ash.
you.
What,
That's
what do you expect from me from Ralph, man? Like, honestly,
Well, it
like,
was my announcement that I'm coming to Vegas, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. Hey, what do they do?
I think he lost connection. I think she unplugged his laptop or his PC. I'm sure they'll come back in a minute.
So wait, it
Why
goes
was
like
she
that and they come
on
back.
God's green
So-
earth? Was she thinking
So
that
he
Ethan
wanted
Ralph would
to
be
get the link from you,
Wait,
do your
hold on.
show.
someone she
Hold
would
on.
want
I
to
just gotta make sure
champion
she's okay. This is not
getting
cool.
married
No, I was talking to them.
to this woman.
Hold on.
Like, if you know his history at all,
Okay, it's 5 a.m. Eastern.
Ethan, we lost you on camera.
Yeah, you
Hold on,
did.
I have
Yeah, you
Scarlett on the
did.
phone. Yo, are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine.
I'm not asking you, Ethan.
I don't.
yeah, no one cares about you, Ethan.
Do you want to come on screen and do our announcement thing, or should we just forget about this? You're on live right now on the speakerphone. Just so you know, this is on the speaker.
He's laughing just because of how working.
Can we do our good news thing, or should we just call this?
Don't say that, you.
He's laughing because of how stupid she looks. For
You have no affiliation to them showing up in Vegas, right?
Echo Pineapple's here.
Mm-hmm. I see.
Scarlett, you're on live right now. Can we do our announcement, or we're not doing the announcement? Scarlett, you're live right now. I don't know what to do because I'm not going to let you not be okay. That is not funny, Rochi.
No, Ash, you know why I'm laughing?
It's-
It's because you're trying to help out two extremely drunk people that don't listen to anybody.
I am
Well, this
not
is what
going to get off the phone until I know Scarlett's okay.
I understand that.
I'm not talking to you, Rochi, again.
See, this is what happens. How many glasses of wine? actually?
Yo, Scarlett, are you okay? No,
got
guys, no.
multiple different
Can you
colors
someone call the other
of
number?
yellow.
I don't.
Is what I'm
I have
putting on
another
my
phone.
thing.
Wait, whoa! What is happening? Hold on, Rochi, stay here as a witness. I have another phone.
Yeah. I'm there. Don't worry.
God damn it. Yo, are you guys okay? Hold on, I'm getting another phone. Unlike pee on you, we're not gonna let this slide. Okay, there was an announcement, but tell them everything. I don't know everything.
Well, I believe everybody in the chat is fully aware of Ethan Ralph's shit already,
Oh
right?
shit!
I assume.
Somehow I just called her again. Sorry. Ethan Ralph seems
Yeah.
like
So, yeah, he's
I have his number too, though.
he's not a stable person. Maybe try his phone, but again, maybe they're resting on the floor. Who knows? You know.
Wait, Scarlett, can you hear me? Scarlett, can you hear me? Scarlett, are you there? Scarlett, are you there? Oh gosh. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do now. We are going to
Yeah.
call his number.
Mhm.
That is a
Yeah, you-
Mexican number.
You do that. I will say this, Ashley, and I will repeat this later on.
Uh-huh.
But the title of this live stream should be changed from Maid of Honor to something more appropriate,
Oh
like
my god, did I title it that?
Scarlett got Ralphed again. Maybe, who knows?
Yes. Are you okay?
I'm telling you how I'm mad at you. You bitches.
No, this is not Husey. This is Rochi. Wait, what are you talking about? No. This is Rochi. This is my friend Rochi.
You ruined my life. OnlyFans got me into f***ing trafficking. You know what OnlyFans did? God bless that.
Why is she talking about OnlyFans?
No. Scarlett, this is my friend Rochi from.
Hey, Ash. There's no point in trying to explain. She's been on BYB with me. She knows who I am. She's just drunk.
No. It's not Husey. It's Rochi. It's not Husey.
And you're gonna stay the away from us.
Scarlett, put Ethan on. Put
Hey,
Ethan
Ash.
on.
If it's easier, kick me, remove me from
This
stage.
is not Husey. This is not Husey. What are you talking? Baby, put your man on the phone.
Put your hand on the phone.
Put your man on the phone.
Only white trash ever talks about that.
He bought me, and now I'm bleeding. F- you.
Okay, Scarlett, can we?
No, we're gonna have another body cam. I'm sorry. We're gonna have another body cam. Next time. He's bleeding so much.
Why are you?
Blood, and he just left.
Wait, what?
Smoke him if you got it.
I gotta get something to drink and gotta get a fan turned on.
Wait, what? I don't understand what's happening. What? Okay, the person on the live is my friend Rochi. He's not Husey.
I split open my whole foot.
Okay, what? How did you do that? How did you do that?
I can't control it, and no one called the cops because I don't have health insurance.
Okay, what's the name of your hotel? I mean, okay, don't say it right now. Just text it to me.
No.
No.
So,
No. Never mind. Forget what I just said.
He stays alive. That's what you women should do for their man. Go after them and make sure they stay alive.
Wait, what, baby? What is happening?
Fault. And you bastards that put us at risk like this. You put my fucking life in hell.
Who?
I did pornography because it protected me from sex trafficking because of OnlyFans.
Okay, I thought we were announcing that I was maid of honor at your wedding in Vegas. What is happening?
Ashley, they were trying to use you to create drama. That's what they were trying to do. I'm calling it out now.
Wait, hold on. Is someone hurt? Okay, she just hung up on me.
Yeah.
I thought
Because
I
I
was
just
Probably gonna be able to
apologize.
hear my
I was
fan,
gonna
and
be
I don't care.
Scarlett's maid of
It's
honor.
So-
I need
It's
to
hot
make
in
sure
here.
you're okay.
Right, you just muted yourself. Right, fine. Shirt lifter.
I was muted the whole time, but I thought
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
muted the whole time. But it's
Mhm.
still going on. Here's what's up.
Yeah, go on.
I don't know what to do. She's injured, so I'm not
Well-
making sure she's okay.
Well, Ash,
But she can't hear me. It was actually funny, Rochi, because I was like talking to you, but I was
and
talking
you
to
were
the
mute.
phone.
Right, well, Ash, listen.
It's
listen.
the same thing. It's mute.
Ash, this is really important. If she was really in need for some medical attention, she wouldn't
I
answer the
just
phone to
screamed
you.
5 different times. Please get a first aid kit from
Ash,
the hotel.
Ash, if she was in need, she wouldn't answer the phone to you. She would call 911. I assume they're in a hotel room. If they're being that loud this early in the morning,
Well, apparently
gonna
he
be
just left for
reported.
the airport.
sorry,
I
Ash,
told
did
her
you-
5 different times she's not live, and I wasn't live the whole time. But I've also
Ash.
told her I was live. Yes,
Yeah.
Rochi. And
Did
stop
you say they're
taking
at an
jabs.
airport? Are they at the airport, did you say?
She's saying her. I can't even say what she's saying.
Because
Hold
you
on.
claimed that she had...
Take it over.
Ash, did I... Oh, you're on the phone now and you mute.
I'm going from mute to unmute, and you're directing me. Okay,
Yeah,
what I'm
right,
saying
okay, Ash,
is
don't
telling me
mute
at,
yourself.
like,
Do not mute
something,
yourself.
And I'm saying go to the. I'm
Don't mute
muted on
yourself.
her, and I'm not muted here, but I'm like,
Right,
go to
okay.
the front desk and get a first aid package. That's
Thank
all I
you.
can tell
Right.
you.
Okay, but Ash, what I'm saying is, don't mute while she's speaking. That's the content.
Yeah, but that's rude.
No, I understand what you're saying,
Okay, be
but bearing in
careful.
mind,
Just be careful and
Okay.
be polite.
okay,
You're not
I'm
sitting in a couch anymore, sir.
she doesn't know what Ethan Ralph's doing. He's using her for content.
Apparently, you
Without-
just left to go to an airport. I don't know what's happening, but I gotta make sure this girl's okay. Scarlett, you're live right now. Scarlett, you're live.
They've done pelvic exams. It's called battery.
Scarlett, you're live.
Well, yeah, I know. I don't give a if I'm live. I'm telling
But this time you're live.
doctors sedate you for 15 hours. It's called medical battery.
No, I'm saying, can you please go to the front desk and get a first aid kit?
Rights as an American. I'm telling people, as a American citizen, you do have rights. You do not deserve to be sedated for 15 hours and done pelvic and chest exams on when there's nothing wrong with you. It happened to me, and then I got a bill for like $5,000 for this.
Okay, Scarlett, you're live right now, and I really want you to go down. I've muted you the whole time. But Scarlett, can you go to the front desk and get a Band-Aid?
No, I don't give a shit.
Ash, can you just ask her what she's talking about? How that is relevant to this current scenario right now? Like, just say.
Okay,
what's this
Rochi, not Husey, Rochi. Okay, can you see the live?
You do not call bitches.
But Scarlett,
Explain to her there's people in the third world country that can't see doctors. Now, if she's really bleeding, go get a fucking Band-Aid.
I gotta do one at a time, Rochi.
I know.
Rochi, I mean, Scarlett, do you remember that this live stream was
While she's just rambling, I'm just going to talk, Ash, right? So just to clarify, my understanding of what was going to happen today was
I gotta make sure he's
they were going to announce they were going to Vegas. You were going to be the maid of honor whilst they got married in Vegas. But yet, instead, because Scarlett can't handle the fact that Ethan Ralph thinks that I'm somebody else, she went apeshit and they started fighting.
Hold on, I think we're getting close. Okay, listen, love, we are live. Okay, my most important thing is your foot okay?
Ethan's okay. I'm not kidding. I was walking up the street trying to find him. Don't worry.
You're looking for Ethan?
So if your friends know where Ethan is,
Ash, tell her she told you he went to the airport.
his number.
There's no point looking. He's at the airport.
I can't step on the ground again. Bye.
Listen, love, I think that you should go to the front desk and get first aid.
Be broken glass. Somebody's gonna step on it. It's no fucking thing.
Why is there broken glass?
Ethan did to me. Even know.
All right, I gotta get it straight.
It's just dumb. People know we're on the edge, and they know we're trying, and we're working hard to be together, and we're loving each other. And then they know that what'll set them off, and it's just what they did to me and to me. Ethan didn't do that. He runs away, and then I'm worried about him because I don't want him to go to jail. I love him. I will go.
Hey, Ash.
My man's okay.
Okay, Scarlett, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna end this stream. Scarlett,
It's not because of me. It's because of you.
Scarlett, I really want you to go to.
Scarlett, you're a grown f***ing woman. You can do whatever the f*** you like. It's not Ashley's fault or mine or the Dabbleverse.
I want you to get a Band-Aid, and I want you to get She's like, I'm not muted. She's just.
March. What about Scarlet Watch? What about Scarlet?
Okay,
Yes,
I
you can
really
hear me.
want you
Right,
to go
okay.
to the front desk.
Ash-
I can't
Ash,
go on. Rochi,
She's watching a
I
live
cannot
stream.
go
Sorry,
on
Ash.
as a
1
person.
second. 1 second. She's watching a live
Do
stream.
you understand no
Scarlett,
one's muted at this point?
Scarlett, listen to me. Listen.
She's
If you
not
step
listening.
on broken
Go ahead.
glass, you need to make sure that the wound isn't still bleeding. Now, that's the only nice thing I'm going to say. The other thing I'm going to say is this. Stop coming around the Dabbleverse, screaming for attention, whilst you are clearly on
Okay,
some sort of
Scarlett,
substance,
I
whether that's
really
alcohol
want
or
you to
not,
go get
and
a
then
Band-Aid
using kind
and
people like Ashley
hydrogen peroxide in
Cummings.
Neosporin. I cannot There's
to
like
try and
too many
stay
things
relevant.
happening in my brain right now.
Do one.
And that is
Thanks,
that.
Ash.
All God, good, bless, and respect. As an American citizen, we all have the First Amendment, free right of speech.
Oh
we all
my
have
Bitch, you spent years sucking penis.
say what we want.
Don't be rude,
Talking
Rochi.
about respect. Sorry, have a bit of respect for your own body, bitch.
Have a bit of respect for me, Rochi, and don't
This
be
was
rude.
physical.
Sorry, Ash. Sorry.
Because
Thank
I
you.
stepped on the glass that broke. Oh God! Now I'm just worried about Ethan. So if anyone gets hold of Ethan, let me know he's okay. Because I'm gonna get off this phone call and I'm gonna put on my running shoes and I'm gonna go run up. Like I've been used to running.
Before you put on running shoes, can you please get a first aid kit?
Make sure I
Please.
find out where the Ethan went. I will find.
I'm
him.
not muted.
Not in a bad way. It's fine to make sure my man is okay.
I need you to make sure your foot is okay, girl.
And this has nothing to do with Ashley. I'm gonna make something clear. This has nothing to do with Ashley. There was some fucking guy on the phone. Who the fuck was that? Hooksy? Whoever the fuck Hooksy
So now
is.
Ethan Ralph is messaging me.
You got mad.
Okay, your person is texting me. What is he texting me? He said you make me sick. How?
Hey, Ash. This is what's funny. Yeah, Ash.
He
do you
thinks you're
remember-
Husey.
Ash.
And actually,
Hey, Ashley,
He's
can
on
you
the way.
hear me?
He's texting me. He's on the way to the airport.
he's Persian.
Ashley, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Rochi. Just
Right,
be
okay.
easy.
So please, really pay attention to this. These are the people I tried to warn you about. Yeah?
Okay, I got it. I can't. I mean, how many times did I say please go to the front office? Okay, guys. Well, I was
Ashley.
supposed to be maid of honor
Mhm.
at Scarlett's wedding. I don't know. And then Ethan's saying you make me sick. He thinks you're Husey. I'm so confused right now. Rochi, they were very normal. Before I asked you to come on, they were very, very normal. They were like, let's do Ashley stream for 15 minutes and then go on my Rumble stream and like let's announce that, you know, we're getting married officially and Ashley's our
Right,
maid of
Ash.
honor.
Ash, you're not a silly lady, right? You're not, slow or anything. And I mean that.
Well,
with
you
the
have
highest
said
regard, right?
otherwise, but
No. So they were normal and they were sober, right? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying sober.
But they were coherent, yeah?
Yes.
Right, okay. And then as soon as they saw me, they thought I was Husey, right?
And then the guy Ethan starts saying like, "You make me sick." I'm like, "Why?" It's my friend Rochi. It's not even
Right, so
Husey.
the reason why they say that Husey is sick is because Husey has had Matt Mead on his show, yeah. So of course everything becomes drama. They think you're setting them up because again they're too intoxicated to tell the difference between a long-haired English fat wanker compared to a short-haired Irish fat wanker, right? That being said, I generally think it was the case to try and keep them relevant. Now, I ain't saying don't be friends with them. I ain't saying don't like do the honorable thing which you
The only
did,
thing
which
I
is-
have to make sure of is that this girl is okay.
Yeah, and that's great. Everybody would agree you did the right thing there. However,
Well, I have to do
Ashley,
it again, but don't talk
as
shit.
a friend to you, I'm telling you, it's a waste of time.
I'm just calling Scarlett one more time to make sure she's okay. I wish she would have just gone to the front. Wait, what? Wait, you're live right now on the live that we scheduled. Listen, you're live right now, which is the live that we scheduled. Okay. She hung up on me. I guess she's calling the police.
Did you say she was calling the police?
Could you hear that?
Yeah, I did, but I didn't. I
She said,
couldn't
I
really hear.
cannot
What,
handle this right now. I'm calling the police.
So that is a type of frangible, and we have a spectrum of,
Okay,
of
so
bullets
now
that are
we
designed to
have-
fragment, and a whole lot of things in between. So there's that, and that's what she's saying this is. And I would disagree with her because she doesn't know what the heck she's talking about, as some very smart people pointed out in the chat. Now we have varmint rounds, for instance, 10 Hornady Tap is actually
gotta get
Hornady
the,
VMAX, Varmint Max. All right, those types of rounds are varmint rounds. Those are
Let's see how much of this we've missed.
Secret Service sniper, and so
Only 40 minutes behind.
For the show, your Army veteran works.
we're live.
All right, guys, we're live. Welcome to the show tonight, Ben Dyke Show. I got special guest Gary from Paramount Tactical. We've got something up here that Gary
125.
has posted on his X
And let's
account.
hear
I'm
his
going to make sure that
explanation
we
of
put Gary's
all things
information there in the
Charlie
in the
Kirk
stream
made
in the
it
chat. If you've got any questions, comments, or concerns during the show for Gary, and you want to make sure that you get those in, make sure you put it with a super chat. Members always try to get those comments first. But Gary, first and foremost, a little bit of your background. We were talking a little bit before the show. You're Army veteran, Green Beret, now have a business teaching shooting, teaching combat, teaching self-defense. So, and I said, how did you fall into being a punching bag for the conspiratards? Because it seems like that's what you do on a daily basis is deliver counter punches to the conspiracies. And I don't know how. I used to box, so that's the way I look at things.
Sure. Yeah. Well, let's take a step back and how I got into this, right? So
Sure.
First of all, I've had a YouTube channel for many years, and which was primarily firearms, but I always talked politics. And just about every Wednesday for years and years, we'd always do a live stream and talk about guns, gear, politics, current events, all those things. And I've always been a diehard conservative, kind of bordering. I like to say bordering on libertarian, but then libertarian. Some libertarians are out there, so I don't know if I want to associate myself. But then again, there's some conservatives I don't want to associate myself with, and I don't think they align with my beliefs. With that being said, that's how that worked. And so, I had this YouTube channel, Gun Tubing, and really the first time that I dipped my toe into like current events similar to the Tyler Robinson, Charlie Kirk, assassination was Butler. So Butler was interesting because number one, we had it was the attempted assassination with Thomas Crooks. And the other part of that is when I got out of the military, I took a job with the Department of State Diplomatic Security as a special tactics instructor. So I was teaching tactics, room clearing, defensive tactics, other security, close protection, PSD work, all of those things. And one of the guys that worked, and later on I became a unit chief for a training program. And one of the guys that worked for me used to be a former Secret Service sniper. And so I remember we were on the range. We were actually teaching a course of the day. And by the way, I went full-time and on Paramount since 2023. And I remember, we were actually on the range the day that Trump, the attempted assassination, and on the way home, a client called me and said, Gary, you should cover this. So I came home. I immediately started a live stream. We're trying to figure out what's going on. You know how everything is the first couple minutes, hours, even a couple days during those events. And so, there was a lot of people pointing out already online, a lot of discrepancies. And, it just made sense. I reached out to my friend that was a former Secret Service counter sniper team member. And I was like, hey, man, I'd love to get you in here and let's just do an interview and talk about what happened, what should have happened, what you would expect. And there again, 80% of the details that we kind of know now, we didn't know then, at least. And so I brought him in. We sat down, and he's still doing some other work. And so he didn't want to be on camera. So, I just started going through and outlining, what happened, what should have happened. And we did an interview, and he talked about one of the big things he talked about that I think is really important for people to understand, going back to Butler, was the security detail Trump had and the security detail Trump should have had. And, him being a former president and being as a controversial of a figure as Donald Trump was, what he said was, the security assessment should have dictated that he had essentially a full presidential detail. And we know that he never had that. They even beefed up his detail after the assassination, but it still wasn't quite what it should be. And Butler was actually the first time that he had a counter sniper team coverage. Now, one of the things that my friend laid out was like, hey, look, when you have a counter sniper team, the other thing that goes hand in hand with it is a counter sniper reaction team. And what those guys are guys on the ground. And basically the counter snipers have direct comms with these guys, and like they see something weird. And the counter sniper reaction team is also usually tied at the hip with local law enforcement so that they can identify things and talk directly. So long story short, one of the big things that we identified right away was he didn't have the security coverage. And I had my own conspiracy theories with all this, but one of the things I think we can confirm as far as a legitimate, proven conspiracy theory is the fact that there was at least a conspiracy by the Biden administration not to provide Trump the security assets that he should have had. And I think combined with the rhetoric that the Democrats were using at the time, I think at a minimum, they were at least hoping hoping that somebody would, they provided the opportunity. It was kind of a let it happen operation that was going on continuously. And I do think that they were essentially hoping. Now, if there was more coordination than that, I don't know. We don't know. There's obviously a lot of interesting and a lot of facts that we still don't know about Thomas Crooks. So anyways, I played in that game for a little bit, and I actually went out to Butler. I did the same thing that I did with the Tyler Robinson and the Charlie Kirk UVU case, and that is I actually went to Butler. I got a 3D drone survey because one of the first things that I noticed in that case is people were coming up with all kinds of crazy conspiracies. And I think if you're going to get to the truth, the first thing that you got to do is kind of weed out what isn't true, right? And so I found that going out there and getting a 3D drone survey that ultimately allowed me to create a 3D model would allow us to test all these different trajectories. Because I don't know if you remember at the time or if you were paying attention, Ben, but they were saying there was people in these certain trees that they were inside buildings, and they were shooting through unbroken windows. And so what that survey allowed me to do, and that 3D model allowed me to do, was actually kind of test trajectories. That drone survey was like, the accuracy is like plus or minus an inch. And so you can actually put yourself in the shooter position. You can see the line of sight, or if there is one, and it takes a lot of the guesswork out of that. So I played that whole game for a little bit, and even then, all the conspiracies were just quite bonkers to me. It just didn't make sense. I mean, some of those were just physically impossible given the trajectories. There was no line of sight. There was not even a parabolic arc that would allow a shooter, even if they were going to do some sort of crazy indirect fire from a tree over a building and into Trump's ear. And then on top of that, the trajectories that people were proposing didn't line up with the known trajectories of people hit in the direction of fire. I also interviewed multiple eyewitnesses for that and tried to just get as much information and give it to the public as I possibly could. And then so Charlie Kirk, again, I was big into conservative politics, been a big fan of Charlie Kirk for a really long time, followed his career closely. Probably him and Tucker Carlson were the people that I regularly, listen to their podcasts, listen to their content, and followed them quite closely. So when Charlie Kirk was killed, it felt personal to me. And again, immediately we started seeing all these crazy conspiracies. And again, if you go back in time, you think about, there was the palm gun, there was camera gun, there was the camera gun that Andrew Faraci is holding. There was another camera gun on the other side that allegedly somebody was holding, and then people said that there were the camera behind Charlie was a camera gun. And then we also had people saying, the Bush shooter, tunnels underneath. And then we got to the exploding mic theory. Flying drones was a big one for a long time, that he was actually killed with a flying drone.
You've been in combat. You've been deployed in combat.
Yeah.
I did one little tour, and I was with the Brits, so we had beer. But I never saw a camera gun. I mean, I've been to the James Bond Museum in London, and I did see some camera guns there.
Yeah.
I also saw a submarine car, but I've never experienced a camera gun anywhere in my life, like yet.
Yeah, me neither, man. So,
what is the most crazy version that you've heard? I thought the exploding mic, and I've got one of those Rode microphones.
Yeah.
I've not been brave enough to use it since all this stuff come out. Right. I went to DJI. I was like, Rode's going to take me out. What are your thoughts? What's the craziest one you've heard?
I think it's a toss up between the palm gun, because we see Rick Cutler clearly on video. There's clearly no recoil. There's clearly not even a muzzle protruding from his fingers. If you guys look at palm guns, they're actually pretty large. They're larger than you expect them to be. And then we also never saw any muzzle flash or anything like that. So between that and the mic, the exploding mic theory, I think the exploding mic theory is just idiotic. I mean, you have to believe that they are able to defy Newtonian physics for that to work. So those are the two dumbest ones, in my opinion.
Well, it's the Jews. The Jews. I mean, they can do anything, right? I mean, biblically, I support Israel.
Sure.
But I never gave as much thought to Israel until all of this stuff come out. I put a poll in the chat to start the show. Who's responsible for Charlie Kirk's death? 65% say Tyler Robinson, 27% Israel, 5% is like a little like unnoticed, what I would say, cult, Mormons, and then 3% is Egyptians. So I don't know, man. I'm just so down, and I feel like sometimes I'm arguing with people like I'm defending common sense, which it seems odd. Now you jumped into this, and you're in the middle of this. You said tomorrow you're going on with the Seed Man. Is that right? Alex Jones?
Yeah.
I call him the seed man for 25. Back whenever he used to sell seeds, before Sandy Hook, whenever he got castrated by the Sandy Hook, he's a eunuch now. And I've called him the seed man for a long time. You're going on to the Seed Man show with another Green Beret. I hope you both wear your hats to talk about this. And the other guy's ballistics expert, all this other stuff as well. And
Well,
can I bring up this?
I would actually challenge that statement, and we can talk about that in a moment.
I am a big fond of feces. I've got horses, and we use it for fertilizer. And I think feces and facetious is, all in the same. Let me pull up this X post. I saw this X post. You pointed it out to me, and I've been sitting here reading it. And like I said, I'm a dub submarine guy. I was under the water for a long time, maybe too long, and that might be what's wrong with me. But I want to, if you don't mind and Micro Wolf says a camera gun's a spy tool. They do exist. That's my conspiracy voice. There you go. So,
and look, I don't doubt that there are camera guns. We'll just say that, right? I don't doubt that there are surreptitious firearms, to say the least. What I'm saying is that we have so much clearer footage of what took place that there's some things that you can just reasonably rule out. And the camera guns, given that there's footage of the camera, there's no sort of muzzle flash, there's no sort of indicated recoil, and then on top of that, when you start looking at the energy that was dumped onto Charlie, things like the camera gun just fall apart, as well as things like the palm gun. But go ahead.
What about the his own people, his own Turning Point people, his own wife, his own business partners? How did we get there? How did we get to that point? Because
we got there via Candace Owens. So I think Candace has. Here's the thing: even to this day, she says that Tyler Robinson was potentially involved, even though she continues to say that he never was on campus. So why is there never been a deeper investigation into Tyler Robinson? The other thing that we know that there were people that predicted Charlie Kirk's death online days prior to. And these all go back to trans Tifa types. So, trans activists, whatever you want to call them.
Right,
and then we go into, the Salt Lake City, I don't know, it's like the gay gun club, and then also the John Brown gun club. There are definitely ties into all of that. But again, she's never went there. And the only thing that I can reasonably conclude is that it's because that she doesn't want to take it there. I think you get into a dead end there. So therefore you can't have, 80 something episodes on Charlie Kirk's death if you continue to go down that route. But then on top of that, the other thing that you don't get to do is to be a vicious, malicious bitch and go after people that she wants to go after. And look, I'm with you, man. Like, I don't care. Like, I have zero interest in a particular narrative or anything. And I went into this completely open to the idea that, the government was involved or whatever else. I still think the government was all involved in Thomas Crooks in one way or another. Definitely complicit in some way. And that was the Biden administration, right? And I think they could have known, there's a whole lot of different paths that you can take there. Like, one of the things that I've talked about a lot on my channel is the fact that it is actually very easy to target people, psychologically profile people en masse online. And then you find the type of psychological profile that you need, that is extremely persuasive and suggestible. And then they can take that, they can plug a formula in and work these people to where they are radicalizing them, weaponizing them, and then directing them at a target. I think that is very potentially what happened to Thomas Crooks. And I think that the government could have been involved. The other option is those types of things are definitely happening. And they may have known, the Biden administration and our own intelligence community may have known that he was planning this operation and, let it happen. The other option is, there was people within the deep state that actually provided material support and helped plan it. So, going into the Charlie Kirk, I'm open to all this. I don't care. I didn't know really about TPUSA other than that it was Charlie Kirk's company and 501c3. I knew who his wife was, and I've seen her on video. Barely knew who Andrew Colvett and some of these other key players and Blake Neff were at the time. Couldn't care less. And if you showed me the evidence and said, and still to this day, you showed me the evidence that says, these people are involved, I'm with it. But what we do have is we have just a copious amounts of evidence. And after I went to UVU, I retraced Tyler Robinson's steps. I talked to 4 people at the time that were eyewitnesses there while I was there. I've since talked to 6 or 7 more. I think I have had a total of 5 or 6 on the channel. You guys can go watch.
I've seen some of those. Yeah.
Some of those interviews. I've talked to Andrew Colvett. I've talked to Brian Harpole. I've talked to a couple of the other guys in the security team. And going into it completely objective, just asking questions, going to the location, and then, when they release the charging documents, it's like, we know this this evidence exists, and there's nothing that's stronger or more compelling than what we have here. And it's quite frankly, in my mind at this point, it's fairly open and shut. Now, again, tomorrow new evidence comes out. I'm going where the evidence is.
Do you want to talk about your post here? Because the hot item is this. I hate to use the JFK movie. We've got the magic bullet, but this is huge. You and I were talking before the show about this lady that works for the Daily Mail, Melissa Koenig, very anti-Trump, very, what I would say, socialist. She's promoting Zohran Mamdani on the Daily Mail. She started working there in 2021. It's just anti-Trump stuff. Her name is Melissa Koenig here. She's got a lot of followers on X, 448. And some of the stuff that she's posting here, she's sad she can't drink Coke because they came out with a bottle named with Trump on there. But your breakdown on this ballistics, let's, rather than disregard the Daily Mail, because if you're getting news from the Daily Mail, you're saving a birdcage somewhere from having something to shit on. What are your thoughts? I mean, you laid this out here, and I would say with your background, you know more about shooting ballistics than the average bear. And obviously with your job and all this other stuff. Go into that. This is interesting as hell.
I'll hit that, and then let's just talk about my experience in this. And so, number one, I was a sniper with the 101st with the initial push into Iraq. So I've been shooting long range, precision, operationally, professionally since 2003, 2004.
Okay.
And again, when I was at the 101st, I later went to special operations, like long range. I love pistol shooting. We teach tactical carbine, tactical medicine, but long range has always been my passion. And we continue to teach one of the best long range programs. I literally teach long range for a living. Right back there, you guys can see I got, I don't know, $30,000 worth of reloading equipment. We have our own line of precision custom rifles that we do, but that's primarily what my channel has always been, is teaching long range. So, whether we're talking about internal, terminal, or external ballistics, those are the things that I've always focused on for forever. So understanding that, what I wanted to do, and still to this day, going back to, we didn't know what I will put out right away is like, what we see with Charlie Kirk is ballistically atypical for a 30-06. All right, we can put that on the table. Atypical. Is it impossible, like a lot of people claim? Absolutely not. Are there plenty of examples that I've come to learn even more of since all this happened as I started researching this? But you can look at Martin Luther King, who was shot with 30-06 from 65 yards away, almost exactly half the distance of Charlie Kirk. You can look at Chuck Ritter. Chuck Ritter's on Twitter right now. He's also a former Green Beret. I've talked to him personally many times. He was shot with 7.62 by 54. 7.62 by 54, he was shot from 25 yards away. And that is ballistically identical to 30-06. It's more powerful than 308, less powerful than 300 Win Mag. But he was shot 25 yards away. It went obliquely into his back right here, went between the ribs and hit him right in the spine from 25 yards away. And when it hit his spine, it deflected it straight downward. Not only did it not exit, he didn't die, and he's a badass that kept fighting. And the crazy part about this, and I
that's the part I like. You like lit up when you said that. He was a badass. Yeah.
I mean, it is. And the crazy part about this is they were in a firefight in Afghanistan, and his teammate had a camera, helmet cam. They got it on video, and they have his injuries documented. They have all of his injuries, just detailing the injuries on his medical reports. He's put all of that stuff on Twitter. And the crazy thing is like these people were saying, he mentioned it first. First, he just mentioned, he's like, well, it can't happen because I actually got shot with 7.62 by 54, 25 yards away. I didn't die.
Is that where the "but did you die" come from? Is he the originator of "but did you die"?
He should be, without a doubt.
He should copyright that. But did you die? Absolutely.
I agree. So, people were calling him, like, they were saying he was lying. Well, then he posted a video, and they're saying, well, it didn't actually hit you. And then he posts, his injuries. He got pictures of the injuries pre and post surgery, and it's all documented. Like, he also has, I think he got a Silver Star out of it. So he has an award narrative that is backed up by witness testimony. And there's many more. There's many more times where these things are documented, and it's not as rare as people make it out to be. So one of the things that I wanted to do, and just going back, like, I don't know if it was a 30-06 originally, and we still don't know until we see a full ballistics report and they present the entire case in court. Like, there's so much information that we don't know. The problem is when there's information gaps and people just fill it with bullshit because they want to. I think that is not a logical, sensible, reasonable approach to any of this stuff. When you start determining the narrative and then try to find facts and evidence to support whatever you believe, you are going down the wrong road. you're going to come to bad conclusions. So going to this post, one of the things that I wanted to lay out is just facts, and these are facts. Now, people watching this now or in the future, you don't have to like these facts, but they're true. 30-06 ballistic facts. You cannot determine or predict any terminal ballistic variables. Ammunition source, factory or hand loads. Ammunition type, low recoil, varmint, big game, or dozens of other commercial options. Ammunition conditions, old, new, exposed to elements or moisture. Projectile weight, 30-06 is available from 55 grain up to 220 grain plus. Projectile type, full metal jacket, soft point, ballistic tip, frangible, tumble upon impact, and dozens of more. Plenty of varmint rounds out there. We can talk about the difference between varmint and frangible. There's essentially some semantical differences, maybe some technical differences. But there's dozens more commercial designs with vastly different terminal performance.
Okay.
We don't know the muzzle velocity. Projectile stabilization. I am now I believe what we're seeing is a projectile that is not stabilized, and we can talk about that. But projectile stabilization is determined by proper twist rate for the projectile weight, also affected by barrel defects, damage, or condition of the projectile itself. You must know all of these, or at least several of these variables, to make any valid ballistic prediction. That is an objective fact. Anyone claiming otherwise is wrong. No one in the public knows a single one of these details. This list does not include external variables that can further affect terminal ballistics. Until this information is available, anyone claiming what a round should or should not do is pure speculation. So they're just speculating. So the point here is there's a certain amount of variables that we would need to know to determine what is possible and what's not possible just through a common sense thought experiment. And we know none of those variables, not a single one of them. And so those are just
Let
facts.
me ask you this. Let me ask you this. We don't know any of those.
Yep.
I believe there's too many people online that think they have a right to know all of these things before the case goes to court. That's what I think. There's so many people. It's like, well, it's my damn right to know that. I demand to know this information. And I'm like, wait a second. Are you trying to sway the court case? Do you want this guy to get off? It's like everybody like, did Epstein kill himself? I don't care. He's dead. He was a piece of shit. I don't care. Like, I'm at that point. I don't want him having better health care than veterans that I know. I don't want Tyler Robinson to have better health care for the rest of his life.
I mean, on the Epstein thing, I don't necessarily think he killed himself. And I'm open to the idea that he's still alive, to be honest with you. I am. I'm fine with that. But just all you got to do is show me some evidence. And if we don't have that, let's just admit, like, let's say you believe 100% he's dead. Okay.
Sure.
Let's say that I believe 100% that he's alive. Let's just concede the fact that neither one of us can prove our case. Okay.
Yes. And we can still be friends. We can still be friends.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have to. Yeah, we don't have. It's like I play the guitar. I am friends with guys that play drums. I'm friends with a guy that play banjos. I'm not an all or nothing kind of guy. You know what I mean? Veterans come in my office that are Army, Navy, Marines, Coast Guard. Yes, the Coast Guard's part of the military. Space Force. I still help them. The Air Force, that counts too. I don't care. I think we should be all on the same team. But it seems like this team, I think they're doing everything they can to get this dipshit off. And didn't his parents turn him in? I mean, didn't?
Yeah. So his parents not only turned him in, his parents, look, I don't know where people are going to be. I think in April or May, they're going to have they're actually even talking about, I'll pull it up. I think I posted it. I believe they're going to, regardless, what's going to happen for sure is that the prosecution is calling his parents to the stand, both of them.
Ooh.
And what that means for people don't know is that the defense is going to be able to cross-examine them as well. Like I'm curious to these people's, what their response is going to be when the parents are up there on the stand under oath and they confirm everything that's in these charging documents. Like, what are you going to say to that? And then
I'm going to put a poll in the chat here. Did Tyler Robinson act alone? I'm going to put that in. This will trigger the algo. You go right ahead.
That's another thing that not only am I open to discussion, I mean, I'm open to discussion with all of it. I've never thought that Tyler Robinson acted alone. I mean, at a minimum, I think that Lance Twiggs knew what was going on. I think
is that the friend or the boyfriend, the furry? Is that
the furry gay fellow that he went with? I think, look, what we do know based on these Discord chats and other, and you got to understand, like, just what you just would know to be their social circles, right? And for people that haven't seen it, what was the videos? I'll try to think of the videos. A friend of theirs, Turkey Tom. If you haven't watched the Turkey Tom videos, you need to go watch those videos. Have you watched that, Ben?
I've seen some of it. He's got like a a history of the transmission mechanic friends too, right? He's got
one of their
the gear
close
shifters.
friends. Yeah, so one of their close friends talked to Turkey Tom. There's pictures inside, their apartments. Look, the fact is that this LGBTQ trans community, they have their own community, right?
Okay.
I think, and this is just pure speculation, but I think that either online or in person, I think that there was discussions of this. I think it's unlikely that didn't happen. It could have not happened. Maybe he just did it completely on his own and did it in a void and in a vacuum. But then he goes online and he brags about it on Discord. So I think the idea that he did act alone, I find suspicious. I find unlikely, and I think at a minimum, we knew about it. That's always been my stance. And I also think that there is a high probability that he could have been targeted online, radicalized, and weaponized and directed. And I don't even know if he was directed at Charlie Kirk. I think there is more and more evidence coming out, and these are things I've been exploring, where you have these trans shooters that are just directed to do something. And, whether that's a school shooting or targeting someone like Charlie Kirk, I think those are all possibilities that should be looked into. And by the way, like the Salt Lake City Trans Gun Rights Club or whatever they are, those are being investigated. And I don't know if, I know a lot of people don't realize that, but there's been several articles published that they are being investigated with and looked into with ties between Tyler Robinson, Lance Twiggs, and all of this. So,
the chat, 84% of people think Tyler Robinson did not act alone. So there you go. 84% say no.
It makes sense that
boyfriend, friend,
didn't
whatever,
act
right?
alone,
Yeah.
but it's not.
And then when we factor in
whether or not we're ever
the
going to
George
get
Zinn,
conclusive
and then we
proof that he
factor
did or he
in.
didn't.
I'm trying to think of the guy that was asking the question. I'm having
I don't know.
a brain fart here. All those things are strange. It doesn't mean that those things didn't happen independently, but they need to be looked into. I'm sure they have been looked into. So there's that.
Are they going to test? Are they calling? Are they pulling? Are they going to have the boyfriend testify?
Yeah.
He will testify. Okay.
So
Let me ask you this. Oh, go ahead.
Yep.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say. So the parents and Lance Twigg they announced it. I'm sure it was already determined a long time ago. They just recently announced it that they will be called to the stand. They will testify for the prosecuting attorney. And here's the conundrum the people that believe in some of these other conspiracies are going to run into. We have what's stated in the charging documents, and there's clear testimony from the parents that are recorded in here. Like, do you really think that the prosecuting attorney is going to get these people on the stand and that they're just going to be like, no, I never said that? I mean, the prosecuting attorneys do not have to call the parents. I mean, that would leave them open to be being subpoenaed by the defense. But if the prosecuting attorneys thought that they were going to contradict the state's evidence, they wouldn't even subpoena them. And I mean,
can I play this clip that you sent here? And I don't know what this is. This is
sure.
What does it say? Frangible bullet. Can you explain what that is for the people that don't know?
Sure. I was told
the
surgeon.
I'll pause this. You go right ahead. Set this up.
So basically, what the Daily Mail is saying is something that we've known for months, going all the way back to really like late September at least, when Andrew Colvett said that the surgeon stated that there was fragments of the round inside of his body. Now, one of the very first things that I said, people were like, well, there's no exit wound. I was like, well, then it was probably either a varmint round or some type of frangible round. And I don't want to get too esoteric in this, but like there's frangible rounds that are technically frangible, but even varmint rounds are technically frangible rounds. They just don't, both of those are made to fragment upon impact.
Okay.
So you're not, the last thing that you would expect in either one of those cases is to recover any sort of significant large pieces of a projectile that you're going to be able to do standardized tooling tests to see if any of the lands and grooves on the bullet actually match the rifling to the rifle itself. So we knew that going back, that at least what we knew for a fact is that the bullet is highly fragmented. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that it is a frangible round or a varmint round. There are lots of times, especially when you hit bone, and especially if that round is tumbling, which I do think we have evidence of some sort of lack of stability. I think at a minimum, what we had was a round that was an extreme yaw. And what that means is, for those of you that don't know ballistics, think of a nice thrown football, nice tight spiral. It's traveling the way it is. It's nice and stabilized. Now take that same football and throw it with your non-dominant hand. It's flipping around. It doesn't look pretty. That is a football with yaw. And bullets will do that. And there's lots of reasons why that can happen. And we can go down and talk about all of them if you want. But what we have on his entrance wound, which is clearly an entrance wound, but it is larger than normal. And for those of you, if you've ever done any shooting, if you see a round, what we call keyhole, which means it's flipping, and actually hits the target broadside, it looks like a keyhole. And then there's different variations of that. So if it's not quite flipped 90 degrees, but it's 60 degrees, it's going to create a larger elongated hole. And I think that's possibly what we're seeing there. So my point is, it could be a frangible round, could be a varmint round, but it also could be even potentially a full metal jacket that if it is actually inserts the neck and hits bone, and it is, not hitting straight on, it is going to fragment more. So there's that. And so now we're talking about today, where the Daily Mail states that, well, what they stated is that it does not match. It doesn't match the gun. Well, that is such a clickbait, dishonest title. Really what it says is that it's inconclusive, that you can't match it to any gun. And that's actually what we'd expect. 30 to 40% of all.
How big of a piece does it take to match it? If that makes, I might be asking something stupid here. I don't know.
No, it's not stupid at all. What you need is clear, and you probably need more than one, right? So you have lands and grooves. All right. If you look down the barrel of a rifle, we have rifling, and obviously it's spiraled, and the lands are the high points, and the grooves are obviously the low points. And so when that bullet goes down the barrel, it actually engraves those lands and grooves onto that bullet. So what they do with ballistic testing and try to matching with tooling marks and or the rifling, they'll actually shoot another round through that exact same barrel, and then they'll microscopically analyze the commonalities between the lands and grooves on this round and the lands and grooves that are actually impressed upon this round.
There's another shooter in here that said the exact, literally as you said, lands and grooves. Fu Manchu said the exact same thing, so he knows this. It seems like this is like the language for this, and I don't know that language. Dumb submarine guy.
I've been teaching long range for a living for almost 20 years. So anyways, the point here is when it comes to making an exact match, I don't know. You'd have to talk to a forensics. I don't know if they need more than just one land and groove, a groove pattern on one, or if they need all right, so that's a 20% match. If we have one, I don't know the answer to that. What I do know is now the prosecution is requesting the court that they're going to do metallurgic testing, and the defense is trying to stop them. So
why would they try to stop that? I mean,
well, because they're going to metallurgically match the ammunition.
Oh, they're going to match. Okay, I got you. Okay, gotcha. Let me play this clip by the wizard here. Let's see what the wizard says. Let's go.
So I just want to
go right ahead.
Lost in the sauce a little bit. I mean, going back to December 7th, everybody's acting like this is new news. This is back to December 17th, and really this was mentioned long before this. But even back in December 17th, Candace Owens herself confirmed exactly what you and I are talking about right now. So go ahead.
No kidding. Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's grab here. And then I've got some questions in the chat for you from some of the audience.
What I was told is that what the surgeon communicated very clearly to Andrew, and yes, it is absolutely true that the surgeon, Dr. Lee Trotter, hunts, so he does have experience with bullets. What he communicated is that it was likely a frangible bullet that was used. Now, for those of you who don't hunt, maybe don't shoot, and you're not familiar with that term, frangible, like what's a frangible bullet? That refers to a specialized ammunition that is designed to disintegrate into powder upon impact with a hard surface. So it essentially reduces the risk of a ricochet. Instead, the bullet fragments, makes it safer for close range training. It's not like the traditional bullets that are created to retain mass. Now, key part there is it eliminates the risk of ricocheting. Well, Andrew also told us that the bullet did ricochet. So what we have here is a conflict of statements. We are told that Andrew Kovett was flying blind, put up this tweet, said that the bullet ricocheted downward into his stomach, whatever. And I am telling you that on the other side of this, we have people who are close to the surgeon who say he said no such thing, and rather he said that it was likely a frangible bullet.
Okay. Give it to me in dumb submarine door gunner on a submarine version right there, because that's what I did. I was a door gunner on a submarine. Talk to me.
Yeah. So all bullets, look, there's lots of different types of bullets that are designed to fragment.
Okay.
For one purpose or another. What she described as a frangible round, and it's not wrong, but she's taking. So for instance, centerfire. I may even have some around here. Anyway,
I never knew they went to powder. They
do. All right. So there are frangible bullets that are designed for shooting targets, steel targets at close proximity, that are designed to literally what it is. It's metallic powder that is put into a mold, and several tens of thousands of pounds of pressure is exerted on those, and it's called sintering together, and then when it actually hits with force, it will literally turn to powder. There's almost nothing left whatsoever. So that is a type of frangible, and we have a spectrum of bullets that are designed to fragment, and a whole lot of things in between. So there's that, and that's what she's saying this is. And I would disagree with her because she doesn't know what the heck she's talking about, as some very smart people pointed out in the chat. Now we have varmint rounds. For instance, Hornady Tap is actually Hornady VMAX, Varmint Max. All right, those types of rounds are varmint rounds. Those are designed to fragment upon impact immediately. But
these are the ones you're talking about here. Okay,
exactly.
Gotcha.
Well,
okay.
and this one's pointed soft point. It's a type of varmint rounds, but again, there's a lot of different varmint rounds. VMAX is one of them. They will just basically shatter upon impact. And what they're trying to do is create the most amount of terminal ballistic damage possible. And if somebody, you can think about a fragmenting grenade, however you want to, conceptualize that in your mind. So there is, and most people, when you say frangible round, they are thinking more of the center fire. They don't really understand that, like a lot of varmint rounds and other rounds that are actually designed to fragment are a type of frangible bullet.
This is fascinating to me because I don't know nothing about bullets.
Commercially advertised as that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. This is it's so weird because I knew as soon as the Daily Mail came out with this salacious argument, everyone that was a Middle East expert, an Iran expert, saw this tweet, and now they are ballistics experts. And I'm just like, oh boy. Let me grab a couple of questions. Some people have been flying some questions in here.
Sure.
Gal, here we go. Gal says, are spinning the ballistics findings deceptively inconclusive? Means the results can neither confirm nor deny a match. The defense doesn't want further testing for a reason. You look like you're about to laugh. Talk to me. Go with this one.
First of all, this is one of our subscribers, Dr. Alto. He references Candace as Gal Sharpton.
So this is an inside joke. Okay, got it. Okay. All right, gotcha.
And folks, just so hopefully you guys caught that. That was from December 17th is when she was
her own words.
What we know now. And yes, they are spinning the title on this to say, it doesn't match. It doesn't match. No. It's not that it doesn't match. It's just they can't confirm that it does match. That's what is being said in this report. And I actually have, if you want to throw up my screen real quick, we actually have the actual report from the ATF.
Let's see here. Is that?
It says Gary Paramount next to. Well, on mine it might be different.
I don't think it'll let me. Let me see here. Let me remove this.
Yep, you just got to remove one for the other.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Let's see here. Why won't it let me remove? Let's go here.
There we go.
Okay, there we go. Sorry about that.
And if you want to make that big screen just so everybody can see it,
is that on your X page? I guess.
Yep. So this is from the ATF, a 4-page ATF report on the comparison between a bullet jacket fragment recovered during the autopsy of Charlie Kirk and rifle recovered by law enforcement. The result of the comparison is inconclusive, and it's inconclusive. So that's what it is. That's the official report. It's not saying that we have ruled out, and that's how it's being reported by a lot of people. Like, they proved that it wasn't Tyler's rifle, and that's not what's going on there.
Okay. Yeah. So let me ask you this. Some of the information coming out, is this being leaked from the defense, from the prosecution? Is some of this stuff like privileged, or is it just being made up by Candace? I mean, I don't know.
These reports are basically, they are being put out by, like, these are reports that are being made public. They're being put on the docket. These are so this is stuff that they're submitting to the court itself, so people can go in there and look at some of the court records and see what's going on. Now, as far as where the Daily Mail got that information, she may have called the court, may have talked to the prosecution, may have talked to the defense, and they may have decided, hey, this is what we want to release with it. But that's where we're at with that. So these are all public documents currently that are continuing to be made public as they're scheduling more hearings in the future.
How are they going to get a jury that is untainted? Prejudice. Yeah, there you go. How are they going to do that?
I have my own concerns about that. A few months ago, I had Andrea Burkhart, who's a defense attorney, a criminal defense attorney. I jokingly call her my favorite pro-criminal person. But, that's the way that she approaches everything from the criminal defense. And what we did is I had her on. I was like, hey, let's go through the charging documents. And as well as I have the affidavit of probable cause right here. Let's go through these. And as a defense attorney, try to prosecute these, try to go through and figure out what's wrong and explain to us what is real, what's not real. There's lots of people saying, hey, this testimony isn't real. The text messages in the charging documents aren't real because they didn't have timestamps next to them. So we just went through and like sanity checked, and she explained that, you know, essentially, like, number one, this is one of the most solid cases that she's ever seen, that she would not want this case. I asked her, I was like, would you want to defend this? And she's like, no. You know, some of the questions about the text messages. You know, I said, hey, you know, there's the argument that these aren't real because there isn't timestamps next to them. And, you know, there's ellipses there that says there's more information. She's like, no, this is completely normal. She said, this is not, look, these charging documents are not the evidence. It's a list of evidence that in good faith is being presented by the attorneys to the actual judge. They're going through this and they're saying, hey, this is the evidence that we have. Like, this is a tip of the iceberg. Even then, this is just enough to get charges presented, right? And get charges filed and convince a judge that there's enough evidence to get charges filed. The moment this was filed, which I think the charging documents were released on September 16th, the investigation was still going on. The investigation is still going on to this day. And, you know, they have now listed, I think it's like 280 terabytes of information. They have like 20,000 documents. I mean, the amount of evidence that they have against Tyler Robinson it's going to be a challenge to overcome that, to say the least. And to me, the most damning thing, Ben, I'm sure you're a father, right?
Yeah, I got a daughter. Yeah.
So if your daughter was put on charges and it was a death penalty case and you didn't believe anything the state was saying, would there be anything that would stop you from getting in front of a camera and being like, hey, this is total bullshit, man? Like,
if they allowed me in front of a camera, I would probably get in front of the camera and say I did it.
Yeah,
I would probably go that route.
Let me ask you this. What if they court ordered you not to say anything in defense of your daughter that would potentially be sent to her death over basically this conspiracy of fake charges? Like, I don't know about you, but there's nothing.
I would be arrested. I would be arrested.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I would get in front of that camera no matter what. And
let me ask you this. Somebody said, ask about accelerator rounds. I have no clue what that is.
If you go back to that picture, I actually show the accelerator rounds.
On my stuff here. Okay, let me go back here. I'll go back there.
I believe I have a picture of those.
Okay.
I don't think it's accelerator rounds, to save everybody some suspense. I really don't.
See, I've got reduced recoil. I've got frangible. Let's see here. What is this one? Varmint, Predator, soft point.
Keep going.
I think that's all four. I think that's all four of those. Yeah, that's all four of those things there.
So anyway,
what is this here? What is this here?
So this is just a few of dozens. Like, there are dozens and dozens of different types of 30-06 ammunition. So these are just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is just 6 different types of 30-06 ammunition. And we can look at the projectiles and see that they're made out of different materials. They're different weights. They're different lengths. The cross section is different. Their ballistic coefficient is different. So when I have people say, "Oh, well, I had a 30-06 and it did, you know, my papa's 30-06 will blow your head off," like. So you have all these different types of rounds, dozens and dozens of different types of rounds. Never mind different powders and all that, but just the projectiles themselves. And you think that you're going to have the exact same terminal ballistic result with all of these rounds? That's why they engineer different projectiles, so you can customize the results that you want. And look, if I was going to assassinate someone, if I was in Tyler Robinson and I was able to choose the ammunition, knowing what I know, the first thing that I would pick is varmint rounds. Varmint rounds.
Oh, okay.
Is one of the best self-defense ammunition. It's literally designed to kill smaller things than deer and buffalo and moose and elk. Like, that's exactly what. And to go with this, again, what I said earlier, Hornady VMAX was a varmint round. Now you can also go buy Hornady TAP ammunition as tactical application. It's the exact same projectile, and what they've done is they've turned it into a tactical round, because what it does is it's frangible. It breaks up upon impact. It has devastating results. As a matter of fact, if you want to look,
is there any evidence that Tyler Robinson is a trained long-range sniper, Delta Bro or whatever? I mean, is there any evidence that he has half or maybe even 25% of the training you have?
No, but nothing that we saw is required of that. I mean, shooting 140 yard.
Is that how long? Is that how far of a shot it was? 140 yards.
Like 138 yards.
And I mean, I remember. I mean, I do a little bit of hunting. I've killed a bunch of deer, most of them open sights, Marlin 30-30. It's sitting behind the door. Yeah. 140 yards isn't a hell of a long shot. I mean, that's a submarine that I used to work on is 3 football fields long. 140 yards is a football field and a couple of first downs. I just don't see this being this this amazing. I got a really good friend of mine. He's a Marine. He was a sniper, Marine Corps sniper. He lived with Carlos Hathcock for about 8 weeks, 12 weeks. Lived with him, and he said they are making a mountain out of a molehill from this shot. They are making another JFK movie out of this. And whenever he said it like that, I was like, okay, this guy literally lived with one of the greatest snipers in the world and trained with him. I think I'm going to take his his judgment on that. What about this comment here? Candace is doing everything she can to finish the job Robinson started. All her work is probably going to get Robinson acquitted. We need to stop playing nice with this heathen. What are your thoughts on that? Is that true? Is that what you've noticed, I guess?
Yeah, so here I agree that he's well, there's 2 elements of that. Number one, when we say what Robinson started is he was trying to end not just Charlie Kirk, but TPUSA.
Gotcha.
So I agree with that. I think that Candace Owens ultimately is attacking Charlie's life's work and all of the advances that he made. I mean, Charlie Kirk, the reason that Donald Trump was elected was Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk is personally attributed with 2.5 million votes. We beat Kamala Harris by 2.3 million. He also started a conservative and Christian revival amongst youth. Suddenly, because of Charlie Kirk, it was suddenly cool to be a conservative, to believe in the Constitution. And we saw that, like we saw even a bigger resurgence of that, or a surge of that, like within 2 weeks, for the first 2 weeks after his death. And then suddenly what they were doing is they were going after TPUSA, and basically implying and casting aspersions across Erica Kirk, TPUSA staff, Andrew Colvett, and the rest of them. And this is one of the things that I've said since probably December. I really do think that this is a psychological operation, and I think whether Candace Owens is wittingly or unwittingly participating, I don't know. But what I can tell you for sure is that there is a huge number of bots and sock puppet accounts that are pushing her narratives, both online, and I think it's even more than that. So I do think that we have foreign adversaries that are pushing this stuff. I also think that there are leftist political organizations like George Soros funded types, and then even like Google, YouTube. Yeah. Like every time that you open up YouTube, who's right there? Who's recommended right off the top? Candace Owens. And why? Because Charlie Kirk represented TPUSA. TPUSA represents Trump and MAGA. That's what's going on here. This is an attack against MAGA, against Trump, against the conservative movement. What they are trying to do, and they may do this, is they are trying to make sure that we lose the midterms. And if we lose the midterms, the rest of President Trump's presidency is screwed.
I used to work in DC as a lobbyist for a veterans organization. Pete Hegseth used to be my boss. I've met Charlie a couple of times, and I've said since the very beginning, and this is going back 10 years ago when I was working in DC, Charlie Kirk was at the very cusp of the battlefield. He was in the heart of the battlefield because the United States, we are the only country that allows our enemy to teach our children. And he was going into the belly of the beast like Noah in the whale's stomach. He was taking the fight to the college campuses where all of this woke, retarded bullshit is, where they have crying closets, where they tell you to hate your parents, where they tell you to hate God, where they tell you to hate America. They train you to burn a flag, and they train you that the Constitution is garbage. He was going there not to disrupt anything other than showing people you don't need a college degree to be successful. You don't need to start life $120,000 in debt for a degree in feminine dance therapy. And dudes can be dudes. Men can be men. Young men should be young men. And that, I believe, is what scared the hell out of the Democrat Party, because a lot of people, even with the help of Candace Owens, when she had a little bit of common sense and maybe was on her medication, she started this Blexit movement. I don't know what happened. I don't know what was removed from her spine. Maybe Charlie didn't hook up with her, but it seems like that is what has happened. And they had to get rid of him because he was doing one thing. And it's I think 7 letters. He was winning on college campuses. The Department of Education will not go down without a fight. These university campuses and these woke, blue-haired, nose-ring fucking cocksuckers will not go down without a fight, and they got rid of their number one enemy. That's what I believe. And sorry for the language, but I don't give a shit. This is the way it is.
Charlie Kirk was a social warrior. He was winning the social. One guy was winning the social war against the entire apparatus. He was the one out there saying, "Hey, girls can't be boys and boys can't be girls. I don't care what you think it is." And look, they killed him for it. They killed him for it.
Absolutely.
And whatever you want, the left killed Charlie. a
Apparently,
person that
battery
felt like he was the
very, very
defender of the trans movement
It died.
is the one that killed Charlie. And he thought he was going to be a hero. And quite frankly, he probably is amongst them. And that's why he shows up in court completely, I mean, just aloof, doesn't care. There's no remorse in that guy's face. He's wearing, you know, the same colors of the LGBTQ flag. That's not by chance. Look, what we have is somebody that killed Charlie Kirk and is proud of it. And I hope to God that the evidence plays out, and I want justice I want justice to be served, and I want it to be carried out correctly. But at the end of the day, Tyler Robinson, I hope, is killed for murdering Charlie Kirk. That's what I hope. If he's guilty, and if the evidence shows beyond a reasonable doubt that he is, and it will, that's what I want to see happen.
33% of the people in
all this other stuff is just a distraction.
a third of the people in the chat. I put a poll up. Does Tyler Robinson get exonerated? A third of the poll says yes.
No. Like, there's so much evidence that we know of, and then there's 10 times what we don't know. Like, they're going to have very clear pictures. I went to UVU. There are cameras all over that place, Ben. Like, the idea that, like, that's what people get confused. They are approaching this with the information that they have, right? So they see this blurry image of Tyler Robinson. They see this person that I would be the first to admit, like, you can't identify as that Tyler Robinson.
We have more than what we have.
You got to understand what happened. And like, we have
You
this
just
stuff. People
don't
are like,
know
well,
when they're
why
not
didn't they show him actually taking the shot? Folks, the reason that we have the footage of Tyler Robinson that we do during that day was because, number one, some people took footage. And number two, we have security cam footage. The security cam footage was released to you. That was somebody going through that and like, okay, I can release this so we can try to find out who the shooter is, but this footage will not affect the case in a negative way. They said, hey, we're going to release this footage. Somebody that knows him is going to recognize him. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. The mom recognized him. The father recognized him. They recognized the rifle from the picture. Like, what they were trying to accomplish without compromising the case, they did with the carefully selected footage. They're not going to show you him taking the shot. They're not going to show you super clear pictures on purpose because they don't want to damage the case. They have those things, I promise you. And they're going to show from point A to point Z that, hey, this was Tyler Robinson through and through. They have cell phone location data. They're going to have his location all over the place. They're going to put him up on there most likely, unless he didn't have his phone on him or something crazy. But there's so much information that's going to be available. And on top of that, his confession. I mean, he's confessed on multiple different platforms.
But they could.
Yeah.
Including his parents.
They could.
It's crazy. Some Boomhauer says innocent and proven guilty. I thought
we won't know.
Boomhauer might be right. I think you are innocent until you're proven guilty.
Yeah.
I firmly believe that you are innocent until you're proven guilty.
It doesn't stop us from assessing the case, and I would not be. I'm not the guy that's the justice system, right? Like, we can sit here and talk about the case and give our opinions on whether or not he's guilty or not. What I don't see, like, I hear those people talk about Tyler all the time. I don't see those people on Candace Owens' page saying, hey, you shouldn't be accusing Erica Kirk of murder because there's no evidence. Like, they'll defend, and this is the weird thing to me. They'll defend Tyler Robinson and be like, oh, innocent until proven guilty. Like, you can't be saying those things, even though we have a ton of evidence. But if you apply the same standard to Erica Kirk and some of these people that are being accused of murder without any evidence, they're like, yeah, they definitely did it. They definitely did it. Like, there's such a double standard, and the hypocrisy is unreal.
Let's talk about that, because that has amazed me.
Mm-hmm.
How quickly people went from we don't allow widows to grieve. We don't the dynamics of the entire thing, how it quickly went to Erica Kirk is responsible. Erica Kirk did this. But nobody will ever say that Jackie Kennedy did that to JFK in the car. Nobody will say that, right? Jackie Kennedy off bounds, Candace or Erica Kirk open. I've never heard anybody say for the Butler, Pennsylvania, where was Melania? Where was Melania? No, nobody says this, right? Like, how did it go to this lady or this mom, this widow? How did it go there? How did that happen?
Information operation. I mean, there's no other explanation for it. It's somebody drove that there in spite of common sense, in spite of a lack of evidence, in spite of evidence for something else completely. Like, you have to abandon reality. You have to sit there and say, and they will, that all of this evidence in this, it's not real. It's not real. But I believe that he was killed with an exploding mic. Like, that's what people are doing. And now I have to kind of come up with all of these things that aren't real to support that. Like, oh, there was like this secret thing, and they attached it to him, and it was tested at Fort Huachuca, and Mitch Snow, and like, you have to start cobbling all these things together that have no correlation. But the first thing that you have to do is you have to create this weird correlation between points and ideas that have no connection whatsoever. You create the connection and the correlation, and then you just completely from whole cloth fabricate causation out of all those things. And that's what's insane to me. And watching people do that, it's like
the guy you had on your show the other night, I wanted to vomit. This Zach Costello. Oh my God. I mean, you did a great job, because I don't know how the hell you restrained yourself, but I will say this: after I watched as much as I possibly could take, I felt so much smarter. I felt so much like in a better place in life. I was like, I'm about to go build my own Tesla. I felt that freaking intelligent. I was like, I'm a genius. I am a literal genius, because this Zach Costello was I think a lot of people just try to be contrarians. I get them in here. But I don't think he was a contrarian. I think he believed all of it. And I watched him with Andrew Wilson, and I was like, there's no way that he gets just absolutely pile drived by Andrew Wilson. And then he goes to your show and tried the same crap. I was like, oh my God, this guy needs to develop the capability to breathe through his nose, because he's a mouth breather, 1,000% mouth breather. I couldn't get over it.
The crazy thing is that he admitted to Andrew Wilson, and I talked to him about it before the show too, that he essentially believes that it's most likely that Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk. But
it's not profitable for him to come out and say this.
No, it's not. It's not. And it's so much more profitable to hypothesize how all of these other crazy theories could be correct. And that's how you ride the fence. And that's how you grift. I mean, it's just dishonest. It's just disingenuous. You can't believe any of that stuff.
Here's a victim. I love victims. I love victims.
I don't think that Candace Owens believes any of it. I really don't. I really don't think that and I don't think most of these people that are pushing it believe it. But you can see, like, Zach went from, I don't know, like 30,000 followers to 300,000 followers during that time. And what is he gonna talk about? And literally all he's doing is taking Candace Owens content and then reposting it with his own spin on it. Like, hell, this is what
it's genius.
Yeah, like it's just genius.
Coach Colin, he was a Joe Rogan guy until this thing. And now he's a Candace guy. Coach Colin.
Yeah.
He was a Joe Rogan. Every day, Joe Rogan interviewed this. Joe Rogan said this. Joe Rogan destroyed, unleashed, whatever. And now every video is Candace Owens just said this.
Yeah.
The Wolves and Finance guy, Zach, I had him on my show before the Charlie Kirk stuff, talking about election integrity. Sure. This happened. He jumps all over this like it's a hot potato. He's making thousands off of what I would say fertilizer, just BS, just unprovable BS, unfounded trash is what it's happening.
100%. Like, and it's very profitable. And it's the opposite is true from my perspective, right? I didn't start going after it is not popular to hold the positions that I hold. And I don't care. I don't care.
To be reasonable. Yeah.
Luckily, I am in a spot where I have a business and it pays the bills. I don't rely on any social media, and I can't imagine where it's like, even if I relied on this 100%, I would not be able to look at myself in the mirror if I decide, you know what, I'm just going to bend the truth a little bit here, bend the truth so that I can get more views, more likes, or whatever. I find that thought disgusting.
I tell everybody I'm an expert on my opinion. I do news and current events, and I talk about that. And when I make a video, I'm not trying to convince you of everything. I'm giving you my opinion. Yeah. But I have a full-time job. I tell everybody in the morning after my live stream, hey guys, I got to go. I drive a 50-year-old truck to work. I got to go to work. Like, literally, that's what I do. And there's so many doomer black pill podcasters that have flipped the Epstein stuff. Nobody said anything about Epstein for the last 29 days because we're in, Iran. Epstein, that's off the table, right? Nobody talks about that. But
nobody was talking about Epstein files during the Biden administration either. And then it wasn't until Trump released them. And basically, come to find out, everybody that was accusing Trump was the exact opposite. I mean, the Epstein files all but vindicate Trump. He helped turn him in.
He was an informant. He was an informant.
He talked to the FBI about him. It's, and I have looked, I don't know if you have. I went, once the Epstein files dropped, and then again when they unredacted them, I went through them again for days and days